Hi, I'm Francis Cullen, one of the founders of OpenSpan.
I'm Rowan Kilgo, Business Process Specialist here at OpenSpan.
And what OpenSpan concentrate on is delivering software for call centers so that their agents can very rapidly deal with calls without the complex desktops they have to deal with day in, day out.
So the general problem with your customer service representatives or your back office workers is they've got a number of applications they have to interact with. They've got a number of screens even within those applications. Some complex CRM applications even have multiple screens that they have to manipulate. So when you look at their screen real estate, there's tons of windows and tons of screens open. So what are they doing in all those screens?
Well, they're just doing everything they do but manually, right? I mean, you've got, you need to move data from one screen to another screen. And how do you do that? You use copy and paste. The 25-year-old technology still being used today to move one field from one app to another app. You have to train the users up on maybe 22 steps to complete an order process.
So they're alt-tabbing, they're copying and pasting stuff into applications, they're double entering data in various places if they can't do that.
But remember, they're having to be trained to do that. And so it's not as simple as just saying move 10 fields over from A to B. It's like do this if it's a Friday and a full moon,
while you're talking to somebody on the phone, trying to keep them engaged and resolve their problem.
giving them good customer service. How's that possible when the agent has to, like, maybe the system's running slow, maybe they've got to remember how to find a particular piece of data because they were told that morning that they need to offer a special deal for a customer who's calling in that has a credit of more than $3,000.
And then when they hang up, what do they have to do again?
Call wrap up. Everybody does call wrap up. So what they now do is they go to a field and manually type in everything they've already told the computer what to do.
So the computer's already heard it once from them because they were doing it.
Right.
And now the agent has to go in and say, this is what I did.
Because those 8 or 10 applications don't remember what they just did in order to auto-populate the notes field.
Amazing.
I know.
So let's talk about a specific situation.
Okay.
You call up your wireless provider
Yep.
and you want to add a line of service for your son.
Okay.
Okay, so first thing you do is you call up and you probably have to enter some digits, but then you get to an agent
Yep.
and you identify yourself.
Okay. And so now I'm going to say, hey, I got a son that's eligible for a phone. I'd like to add a new phone to my account where I already have 3 phones.
Okay, great. No problem, I can help you with that.
Okay.
Should be straightforward, right?
Sure.
Right.
Why does it take so long then, Ron?
Okay, Francis, let me walk you through it as if I was the CSR, okay? You call in, hopefully the IVR has passed some information to me. If it hasn't passed the information to me, or even if it has, I still go to a contact screen, and I have to look you up in that contact screen. Very often, that is another contact screen that pops up for me to check you as the one calling in. Because you might have more than one account, I have to verify the actual account that we're talking about. That brings up a 4th screen, another pop-up screen, for me to choose the account. Okay, that just gets us started. That brings me an account summary up to tell me a little bit about what kind of a customer you are and what you might qualify for. You've identified that you want to add a new line of service. I have to make sure that the information I have in the system is correct. So I have to verify your address, enter a new address if needed. Then I go to a set of screens for sales because you told me you want to add a new line. I go into a generic sales screen, open up a new sales order. That lets me then connect that sales order with your account so that if we actually sell you something, the two are connected. Then I get to go and look at some of the things that you might qualify for. Now, we should be almost done, right? It's just getting started.
Well, Rowan, I'm exhausted. But it's a good job that's the only call type our agents have to deal with on a daily basis.
Unfortunately, that's one of 5 or 6 major types, and there's hundreds of minor workflows they have to go through. So the problem is the customers have all of these screens that they're having to interact with, the contact center agents. And they're very complex and they don't always flow from one to another. Customers come to us and they say, can you give me a single user interface where you put all of that activity in one screen and you even bring in those external applications when needed into that new single user interface. So that's their solution that they jump to, and we can do that.
And that's a great goal. That's everybody's goal, and there's nothing wrong with that. But there's an interim step to that, Rowan, which is that if you could take those many screens that people are having to interact with and firstly just automate those processes you just described. You automate first to eliminate the time it takes for those users or for those agents to actually interact with the customer. And then slowly over time, as you automate those processes, that's when you can start thinking about building a new UI. But don't wait for that composite application before you can reap the rewards immediately from automating those processes.
I totally agree. What you're talking about is taking the interface that they're already familiar with.
Yep.
Removing screens and removing steps because OpenSpan will automate them.
Exactly.
That will drive the process improvement and the reduction in handle time that they're looking for without putting another UI on the desktop that might have some issues.
Well, and also there's a lot of training time associated, and a lot of call centers get scared. The idea that you're going to come along and replace those desktops with new applications overnight, that's a big task.
IT's afraid of it too because it's just another application that they're going to have to
And
support.
all we're doing is automating the tasks, eliminating the wasted time that people take because they have to interact with all these different applications. So you get immediate ROI from automating those processes.
So whether you want a new UI or you simply want the improvements that would drive without the UI, the most elegant solution is take what you have, automate the steps as Francis described, avoid the heartache, and you supercharge the activity in your contact center. We've seen 30,
Exactly.
40% improvements in less than a quarter for these contact centers.
Because you're eliminating waste. So Ron, I'm not against building a single UI. I think that's an important and very powerful goal. What I'm saying is you can get the immediate ROI benefits from automating those manual processes today. Why would you turn down an opportunity to save a lot of money, cut costs right now, and put you on the path towards that unified UI?
And so avoiding that totally new UI and getting this out there rapidly, showing automations as you go, that supports a lean and an agile approach to solving the problem, and you get the benefits, the ROI in weeks.
Everybody wins that way, Ron.